When Nate Leaman, our next inductee, was a men's ice hockey player at Cortland from 1993 to 1997, people already realized that there was something special about him. One of those people was current Associate Athletic Director Tom Cranfield, who was an assistant coach during Nate's first 2 seasons. Tom says in his C Club recommendation letter for Nate, quote, "I had the good fortune to coach Nate during his freshman and sophomore years at Cortland. During that time, it became evident Nate was not your average athlete. Even as a younger member of the team, Nate had great influence over his teammates. This, coupled with his innate ability to lead others, made him a very special young man." Well, what Tom knew back then became evident very quickly to everyone else in the world of collegiate hockey. Nate got his first collegiate coaching opportunity as a volunteer assistant under Sean Walsh at the University of Maine in the 1998-99 season. Well, all the Black Bears did that year was finish 31-6-4 and win the NCAA title. Nate then helped rebuild the program at Harvard as an assistant coach for 4 years, which led to his first head coaching position in the 2003-2004 season at Union College. Now, I grew up in Schenectady, 2 miles down the road from Union, so I remember the days when Union was a good Division III program, then an average at best Division I program. Well, in the 6 years prior to Nate's arrival, Union averaged just about 9 wins per season. In his 8 years on the bench, they averaged 17 wins per season, including 26 wins in 2010-11 when he was named Division I National Coach of the Year. Now, for the last 3 years, he's writing the same success story at Providence. He's inherited a program that won a combined 25 games in the 3 years prior to his arrival. And in his first year, they won 14 games, then 17 games. And last year, 22 wins, including the team's first NCAA win since 1991. That special young man that Tom Cranfield remembers from the early 1990s is now one of the nation's top coaches and leaders. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for induction into the SUNY Cortland C Club Hall of Fame, Nate Leaman, class of 1997.
Those are some very kind words. I'm not sure I agree with them all, but thank you. I'm honored to be here also. I'm honored to be back at Cortland. And I'm honored to be inducted to the C Club with so many great people. Not only inducted tonight, but so many of you in the red jackets tonight. When you all marched into the room tonight, you know, kind of got goosebumps, and I realized what a special place I am in tonight, and thank you all. I also want to thank President Bitterbaum. I got to meet him today. He also remembered my name right away. Or not remembered my name, he knew my name right away, which I was very impressed with. He also remembered who beat us in the national tournament last year. That was great. I want to thank Tom Cranfield for nominating me. Cranny was our assistant coach my first 2 years. He was definitely a player's coach. He was with us all the time. You know, our head coach was a guy that had been here a long time, Al McCormick. And he was a super person, was a terrific hockey player, and Craney did an amazing job of communicating with us all the time, and he still does with all of us alumni. And being back here today and seeing him, he kind of gave us a tour of everything, and you know, Cortland's in great hands with Mike and him, and I'm really excited to kind of know the direction everything's going. I want to thank my wife, Alice. A lot have been asked, probably 3 or 4 times tonight, did I meet my wife, Alice, at Cortland? No, we did not meet at Cortland. She applied, she didn't get accepted. So she had to go to her safety school, which was Dartmouth. But it worked out in the end for her. She married up, and we're doing okay. I also want to thank the biology department, and in particular Dr. Larry Klotz, who stopped by the field today and again stopped by tonight for dinner. Couple things. First of all, is I was speaking with my staff 2 days ago at lunch, and we started to talk about why we started studying what we studied in college, and it came, all three of us said real quick, well, I took this class and I loved it. And I took several of Dr. Klaas's class, and I loved every one of them. So I went to him. My senior year, and I asked him about graduate school and started talking with him about it, and he wrote a nice letter for me. I applied to several graduate schools. I was fortunate enough to get into Maine. And I just want to tell you, Dr. Klaas, I did a lot with it, didn't I? I took that grad work, that graduate assistantship right to Maine, and I started coaching. Super. But I did get my master's degree at Maine, and I owe Dr. Klaas a lot. I'm humbled to say this is the second honor I've received from Cortland. The first honor was from the biology department my senior year. It's called the Aldo Leopold Award. Have any of you heard of the Aldo Leopold Award? I don't think so. It's not a very popular award. There's a description that goes, there's a description that goes with the award about environmental biology and things, but I'm convinced, like the day I got out of Cortland, that all the biology department professors got together and said, who is the one guy that got through here that we didn't think there's any way they're going to graduate? So I'm pretty sure that was me. I want to thank the C Club also. I want to thank whoever served alcohol the night that they were voting in the C Club for our inductee class. It's probably you, Cranny, thank you. But when I was here, I was touched by the C Club a couple different times. My first time was my senior year. I was in the back of the room like all the student athletes here. I was able to, kind of go through this nice ceremony, and there's one thing that I took away. Myself and my college roommate were captains of the team. One of the people that were getting inducted that night, they were asked by their athletic director at the time, Cortland, where's Cortland? And he snapped right back at him. He said, well, it's the Harvard of Phys Ed. So our team immediately, we took that right back to the locker room the next day. And every time we see each other now, and every time every one of us that played hockey during those years are asked about Cortland, we immediately snap. It's the Harvard of Phys Ed. And we let people know right away. The second thing that the C Club touched me was when I was the rink manager my junior and senior year. Coach McCormick was nice enough to give me a job, and I used to wander upstairs. We had to do the ice once every hour. So we got to wander around or do some work. And I used to wander up and look at the C Club wall. And, just like so many others, I used to think about, man, I wonder if my name would ever be up there. And I was telling my wife as we were coming over today that I'm really proud that now we have 3 boys, that someday when we bring them over to Cortland, they're going to see my name etched up on that wall and not the wall at Woodman's Pub. So, the last people I'd like to thank are my teammates. I think all of us in the room, or most of us in the room, are student athletes, and we're very aware that your college experience has a lot to do with your athletic experience. If you have a good experience athletically, seems like the college experience is great. And you don't get that type of experience without great teammates. I have great teammates. I'm best friends with them still today. We lived together, we ate together, and we competed together, and we remain the best of friends. So. I just want to close with one thing. I was thinking about it today. We've started the season now. We had our season ticket holder kickoff 2 nights ago. And we're in a precarious situation here, well, precarious for a coach, in the fact that we didn't graduate a lot of players. So, we had a good season last year, and you have all your season ticket holders coming up to you, asking you, so when we can plan on championship rings this year, right? We can, when are we going to have the party for that? And, you're just kind of rolling your eyes, and your players hear that, so you're trying to keep them in check and make sure they stay in the process. And the one thing I shared with them the other day was that I want them to walk away, from this year. There's 2 things they could say. I could have been, or I did everything for what I valued to get to where I could be. When I came to college, my mom drove me from Ohio. We got a flat tire from coming from Elmira up to Cortland. It was 10 hours from Ohio, from Dayton, Ohio to Cortland, New York. And we got a flat tire about an hour and a half out. And I remember just looking at my mom before my freshman year, just kind of looking at each other saying, I could see it in my mom's eyes. She's like, what, are you sure about this? Are you sure? And, you know, we looked back and said, yeah. You know, and we made it up here. I ended up staying up every summer that I was in school here. I took classes or I got an internship and was able to get credits to get my degree. But my mom came back up for graduation. And this is Cortland, right? So what's it do on graduation? It snows. It snowed graduation morning, and we got about 1.5 inches. And my mom came back up, and she looked at me, and she was looking at me just the same way. Are you sure about this? Are you sure about this? And the same message that I sent to the team just this last couple of days, the same message I sent to my mother after the 4 years. There are no regrets. I'm extremely proud to be a Red Dragon. I'm extremely proud to be in the room with everyone. And I can't thank Cortland enough, the people in the C Club enough, and anyone involved with the school for allowing me to be here and allowing me to be part of being an athlete here. So thank you very much.